Hey guys, and I'm back here with another video, and yes, I look horrible. Yes, I'm in pajamas, and I got a new necklace, and it was an early birthday present. And it was just, my best friend gave this to me, and I cherish it, and I'll always wear it, so be ready to see this in every one of my videos for like the next... Hold up. Alright guys, and based on today's video, the bad quality, we have realized I don't have my phones. Not yet. And very sad and hard to say. They got shit back. So we're gonna have to stick with this camera and what we got now. But based on the title of this video, yes, the story time of the time I ran away. With quotations, because I didn't really run away. My dad just called it running away, which wasn't even close to what happened. And this story takes place in 8th grade. We've been over this. All my stories take place in 8th grade. But I got some crazy ones, and that's just the title of this video, and just in case that story time is not long enough, I'm going to be telling another story. But that one's a surprise story, so let's just get into this first story and see what happens. Okay, so starting 8th grade, and in 8th grade, I was a big rebel. I didn't like the rules. Well, I used to. I really loved the rules. I loved to follow them. I hated, and I mean hated, getting in trouble. I freaking hated it. It was torture. But then I kind of just stopped caring. I was like, no, it's like, I don't give a fuck. So I was out with my friends one day, and in California, there's this thing called the light round, like, goes back and forth. I've talked about this in one of my previous videos, the drinking video and the smoking video. Yeah, go watch those. So me and Olivia from my other stories, and we're gonna call him Michael, and we're gonna call him Sam, and Michael's girlfriend, we're gonna call her Sarah. So it was me, Sarah, Olivia, Michael, and Sam. But it was starting to get like dark outside, and Sam's like, I'm gonna go back. So Sam went back. So it was just me, Michael, his girlfriend Sarah, and Olivia. And me and Olivia were great friends. But I liked Michael. Me and Michael had like a history of like me liking him, and like we dated and stuff. But I still liked him. We didn't like break up on bad terms or anything. It's just like I just broke up with him because I realized he still liked his ex, and I wasn't gonna get in the middle of that. And me and Sarah, we've never been friends, but this night was the night we became like sisters. And Sarah is younger than me. Sarah was a 6th grader, and Michael was a 7th grader, and I was an 8th grader, and Olivia was a junior. So we were all like age difference. And so we get on this light road, and originally I didn't know where we were going. I just tagged along, right? Like, I didn't know where we were going at all. I didn't know if we were going out. All I knew was we were catching light road. I didn't know to where, when we were coming back, anything. But I really wasn't trying to get in trouble. I was like, I'm not trying to get in trouble. Like, I want my phones back. If I want my phones back, I have to behave. But I still wanted to go out and hang out with my friends, because that's just what I did. That's still what I do. I go and hang out with my friends, even though my dad says no sometimes. I still go do it, because it's like, I'm 14. What else do you expect from me? Expect me to follow the rules? Nope. But I do follow the rules sometimes, more often than other times. And so, we're going to, we get on the sleigh round, and we just get on the sleigh round. I don't know where we're going, because I've never really gone as far as we went. Because I read the light road school, I told you guys. So we went past my school, and I was like, I don't know where we're going. And like, I knew, like, the light road stopped at like places, but we went way too far. Like, I was like, where are we going? And they were like, oh, well, we're gonna go to Full Smellett's. And I was like, bro, what is that? Because I've never been there in my life. I didn't know anything about it or nothing. I was like, what? Like, what? And so I was freaking out. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get in trouble. And like the sun was down, and like it was way past my curfew. When I went there, it was past my curfew, so either way I was gonna get in trouble. But I was kind of hoping we weren't gonna go that far, and we were just gonna like go smoke, and like it was gonna be good, and I was gonna go back, you know? Like, no. No, 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 no. We go on the flight route and like ride for like an hour and 30 minutes across the motherfucking town to the outlets. And I'm like, for why? And they're like, oh, we just want to go to the shopping center and be dumb kids. And I was like, okay, well, we could have been dumb kids tomorrow at noon. Like, what you mean, dumb kids? What do you mean, dumb kids? Like, what? And so we get there, and I'm just like, okay, and they convince me it's going to be fun. We're going to have so much fun. We get there, and we get out the light round. I'm just like, oh, this is the outlets. Yeah, this is going to be fun. There's so many stores. We can, like, I was a really big thief back then. So I was like, oh, we can steal. We can, like, have fun. We can be crazy. We can play Truth or Dare. We can do this. We can do that. Like, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be so much fun. I'm going to go back home, and I'm going to get in so much trouble. Yet, I had so much fun. So if that's not going to get my ass kicked, well, I can know I got my ass kicked for having fun, you know? And so I stopped worrying about it. I was like, it's fine, it's fine. It's like 9 o'clock, and we left at like 5 o'clock, and we stayed there for like 4 hours. Like, why were we there for 4 hours? Like 5, 6 o'clock, I would say. And it's like 9 o'clock, and we're like, okay, like it's time to go back. Like, our parents are probably gonna be worried about us if we don't get back soon. So we were just thinking we're gonna take a light rail back because like we took the light rail here, and like it's a far walk back, you know, hella far walk. So we get to the station and we wait there for like 30 minutes, and this light rail has like these little machines, and it like tells you the times that it's gonna come and all these things. And the machine had originally said it was gonna be here. We had to wait 30 minutes though. We had like 30, 45 minutes. And so it's like been like 30 minutes, maybe like 35 minutes, and it finally says light rail has been stopped. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, and it's like basically like a conjunction of word that little kids wouldn't understand. I didn't understand it, so. But basically this is a summarization of it. The light rail had been stopped. Like, it wasn't running anymore. Like, it wasn't running anymore. Like, they weren't running it anymore. And me, Olivia, Michael, and his girlfriend, Sarah, are looking at it like, so how are we gonna get home? And we all just look at each other and say, well, we better walk. Like, we have no other option but to walk. And let me just remind you guys, we were at least 5 to 6 miles from our neighborhood. Yes, we all lived in the same neighborhood. So we were 5 to 6 miles. 5 to 6 miles walking. It took us an hour to get there from the light rail. So imagine walking. Walking took us like 4 hours. Took us so long. So we start walking. And we're walking, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm gonna get in so much trouble, oh my god, oh my god. And Michael just pulls me, and he's just like, Martina, just chill, like, you're gonna be okay, like, it's gonna be fine, like, you're gonna be fine. And Livia's like, yeah, I know your dad is psychotic, but you're gonna be okay, like, you just remember this is the funnest night of your life. And it was. I've never had a funner night than that, and I probably never will. That was by far the best night of my life. So we're walking, and we all get kind of bored, and we're walking. And we get to like this car place, you know, where they like sell cars, and we just realize they have all these things set out, and it's like 10 o'clock. And it's like 10 o'clock, and we're like, let's play Truth or Dare. So we dare people to stick things in the middle of the road, right? So we're just doing that. We're just sticking random things in the middle of the road. Cars are swerving out the way. Cars are like popping balloons. It's hella hilarious to us. But us being crazy as kids, if you're a kid, don't ever repeat what we did in this video. Don't ever repeat it. Ever. We wanted to be crazy ass kids. Smoking, drinking, all that. Nah, that's nothing. We got a fire extinguisher and sprayed it in front of cars as they were driving by. And it was so funny. We hid in these bushes. We covered our mouths and stuff, and Michael just grabbed this and just sprayed it in front of like 5 cars, honking. They're swerving out the way. They can't see anything. And I'm just like, we just did that. Wow, we're badasses. And so that happens. And we're just continue walking. And it's like 11 o'clock. And it's around like, we just keep walking, playing each other there, just chilling, you know. And it gets to the point where it's like, we're getting hungry. We haven't eaten dinner. And we think it's time for us to get food, but none of us had money. And I said this. We were all really big thieves. We love to steal. And we stole so much from the Fulton outlets, but the one thing we didn't steal was food. We just stole jewelry and hats and clothes and shoes and everything. We just stole those items. We didn't steal food. So we were all completely starving. And we get like halfway back, like another like hour to 30-minute walk. And we get to 7-Eleven and we go in there and we just steal like so much food, and we're walking, right? And they didn't find out we stole food. Olivia decided she didn't want to go in with us, so it was just me, Michael, and Sarah, and we were like the 3 best thieves you'd ever meet. So we just came out with this, and we were wearing really thin coats too. Really thin coats. So we were cold, hungry, and our feet were killing us, and all we wanted to do was go home and get in our beds. And we had wanted not to get in trouble, so we had pretended this night had never happened, even though how much fun it was. We really didn't want this night to happen, and especially if it happened like this. So we get out there, and we had these thin coats, and I don't know how they didn't see it, so we just continue walking, and we walked by my school, which wasn't my school at the time, but eventually was my school. And we walked past the school, and I'm like, wow, the school looks like trash. Then I ended up going there. And so we get there, and like we're just continue walking. We're literally almost to the stop I would get off to go to my school when I went to that school that we passed by. And we get to Walmart. And I forgot to put this out here. My dad didn't know where I was going. I didn't tell my dad I was going anywhere. That was because he was at work and he never told his girlfriend anything. I got my shoes on and walked out the house. So in my dad, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm not there. He doesn't know where I'm at, where I was, what happened. So he decides that he's going to call the cops and say, my daughter has run away. And give them a description of me. And then shows him a picture of me. And this is when this night took a bad turn. I was hoping this was going to be the funnest night of my life, and it turned out to be the scariest. So we get to the Walmart, and there's so many cop cars, and I'm like, oh my god. And it finally came to me. My dad could have called the cops. Oh my god. So we get in Walmart. We're just like, me, Michael, Sarah, and Olivia, we're just like, let's get in Walmart. Like, let's just go in Walmart and we'll chill there. And we didn't want this night to end. None of us. We didn't like going to our house because that was when our fun ended. That's when we weren't allowed to be kids. That's when our parents would yell at us. That's when, like, our fun that we had 24/7 all the time would be over. Right? So we get in Walmart and we're like, let's have a 24-hour challenge here, blah, 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 blah. You know, the YouTubers spend 24 hours in Walmart. So we try our best to do that. We end up getting kicked out of Walmart. Like, they kick us out of Walmart. We're messing around so much. We're throwing things out the aisle. We're messing around. We're just running around the store. We're stealing. We're doing all this. So they kick us out of Walmart, not knowing we stole until we got out there. And they're like, beep, 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 beep. So we try to run. And we leave, like, by the garden section, right? And a cop car pulls up. It goes. And they get out the car and they're like, are you Martina? And I go, no. And they're like, oh, no, what's your name? And I'm like, Christina. And they're like, oh, well, you look awfully familiar. You look like a girl named Martina. I'm like, well, I'm not. I tell them, well, I'm not, even though I'm freaking Martina. Like, why did I do that? Like, ah. And so I tell them I'm not Martina, and they're like, oh, get in the car. And I'm like, what? Why? And they're like, all 4 of you kids, get in the car. So all 4 of us got in the car. Except for Olivia. And that's because we went in Walmart and Olivia was so embarrassed by us being crazy kids, she walked off to talk to her friend. So in reality, all 3 of us got in the car. And we were all like 13, 12, and like 11. And she was like 18, like not like 17, like 18, around that age. No, she was 17 because she just turned 18. Yeah, she was 17, right? So she was talking to her friend in the parking lot, so they didn't think anything of it because she really looks like she's 18. Us 3 get in the car, they know our last names, and they say, you 3 kids have been reported as a runaway. And I thought Sarah lives in our neighborhood, but she didn't. She didn't. And I found this out while we were in the damn cop car. So they drive us to our neighborhood, and it's like a 30-second drive. They drive us to our neighborhood, me and Michael. And we get in this neighborhood. And they drop Michael off. Because Michael's house came before mine. Then they drive a little bit further and drop me off. Then they drive all the way across town to drop Sarah off. So, now we're going to find out what happens. They dropped me off. I was like, I'm not prepared for this. I'm going to get in so much trouble. I'm grounded. So I go in my house, thinking that my dad was asleep. Thinking he would just let the cops handle it. Thinking he would think everything was okay, that the cops were looking for me. Nope. I walk in the house. The lights are on in the living room. The lights are on in the kitchen, and the lights are on in the dining room. And he says, so, you're home. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, we're having a long talk in the morning. So I told him this entire story in the morning, and he didn't believe any of it. Then, we find out. Oh, this was a big crucial part of the story. I'm so sorry. We get to, like, the car dealership. No, like, right after the car dealership, and the light rail starts running again. I forgot that part. I'm so sorry, guys. These stories, I always just forget, like, little minor details that probably people are like, that's a big deal. So, yeah, we could have stopped at the light rail station, and light rail was running, but by the time we got to another light rail station, it stopped running. So, like, it, like, was done for. So, just, yeah. Well, this video was long enough. So I hope you guys enjoyed the story time of the time I was a runaway. That was a fun night, and that was the night that actually, like, started my rebel career. Never did anything bad before that. All I did was steal. And in my opinion, that wasn't even really that bad, because, like, a lot of kids were doing it. So, a lot of kids were doing it. It must not have been that bad. So, if you guys liked that video, I suggest you don't do anything like I did that night. Because if I would have lived that night differently, my end result when I got home would have been differently. But my end result with my friends wouldn't have. I don't know what I would have done if that night would have happened. I don't know where I would be, but I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be where I'm at. And I'm at a great place. And I don't like to say this, but this is just what I tell everyone except for what I tell you guys in my videos. Because I don't want you guys to think I'm a bad influence, even though I am. But here's some advice, guys. I'm 14 years old, and I did all that when I was 13. So, in my opinion, I'm more mature than anyone else. I like doing adult things. I like breaking the rules. And breaking the rules is being an adult when you're not an adult. Drinking, smoking, doing all those things. And that's just what I like. Don't do the things I do if it's not what you want to do. But I'm just going to tell you this. If you're going to do anything, be responsible and do it with people you care about. Do it with people you know very, very well. Don't just drink and smoke or do anything like I do in my videos with anyone. Don't just go to random people and say you're going to do it. No. And you only live once. So don't live your life being a doll. Don't live your life being controlled by your parents, by your friends, by your boyfriends, by girlfriends, by no one but yourself. Do what you want to do. And if it's, don't do anything you don't want to do. I'm not saying just obey your parents, but if they're keeping you from doing something you really want to do, do it. That's all I'm going to tell you. Do it. My parents kept me from doing a lot. They hid me, and they told me this world was this big, dark place. And it only is if you make it. But there is good people in the world, and you have to just find what's good to you. And what's good to me is that out of every single one of my adventures, the drinking, the smoking, the runaway, the any adventure I'm ever going to take in my life, I don't ever want to regret. Because it was my choice. Getting drunk was my choice. Smoking weed for the first time was my choice. Going out with my friends until like 2 o'clock in the morning was my choice. I could have left earlier. I could have told them I didn't want to go on an adventure with them. I could have not have trusted them. I could have not believed them. I could have called my dad. I had a phone. If I really wanted to, I could have called my dad and told him to come pick me up. But I didn't. Because I trusted them. Just as much as they trust me. Just as much as they still do trust me. I still do trust them. I'm still friends with those people today. My life wouldn't be the same without my adventures. My adventures make me who I am, and I don't regret any of them. Out of any story I'm ever going to tell on this, I won't regret any single one of them. They're all unique and adventurous and insane stories. My life is insane. My life is crazy. Sometimes you just need to make your life even crazier than it needs to be. Don't be normal. Don't be average. Don't be Regina George. Don't be the girl in the movies. Be spontaneous. Be crazy. Live life. You only live once. So make this life your best life. Make dumb decisions and learn on the way. You will learn. You will get caught. But getting caught is just a learning experience on how not to get caught the next time. And these are very fun things to do. These are. I still do all these things to this day. They're just so much fun to do. You know how many times I've done this, or I've stayed out with people till midnight. But sometimes it's better to do it with your parents' permission, not without it. Which is what I'm starting to do. I'm starting to do things with my dad's permission, and maybe there is some things he shouldn't know. There's this thing called a book. Lock your deepest, darkest secrets in it, and only tell them to people you trust. And if they're that bad, don't tell your parents. You can love and trust and care so much about your parents. That doesn't mean you have to tell them everything. Anyways, guys, I enjoyed telling you guys this story, and I don't recommend you to blow a fire extinguisher in someone's car, because it's a car crash. And I don't recommend you to stay out until 2 o'clock in the morning without your parents' recognition at 13 or at any age while you live with your parents that's under 18. And I don't recommend you to lie to the cops. But hey, You only live once. And if you want to redo this and see how it goes for you, well, then it's up to you. I can't stop you from doing everything I did in my story times. I can't stop you from doing that. And I can't not. I mean, I can try my best to stop you from doing it, but all my stories are for your entertainment and my nourishment. I love telling you guys my stories. I have so many insane stories to tell. But until next time, I'm going to go and enjoy this video. This video was insane to film, and it took me down memory lane, and I loved it. I absolutely did. I loved it. And if you guys want to see challenges, makeup challenges, anything, tell me. I do a makeup challenge later. I don't know. I haven't uploaded it in a few days, so yeah. Bye guys. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video.